Welcome back to Road of Abundance. Today we have a special guest, one of my friend, and a guy that I work with every week, or at least every second week. We shoot together. So Clint, thanks for joining us. I wanted you on the podcast for multiple reasons. First, you're a successful photographer and videographer. Second thing, you had a pretty impressive health journey, and now we train together. I push you through your limits. So tell me, who are you and what's the deal?
What's up? Yeah, my name's Clint from Santa Barbara, but on Instagram, just at Clint, Clint Film, Clinty, Cat the Bangle, Clint Eastwood. I got multiple Instagram accounts, so I kind of just live life on social media now. But yeah, I don't know. Where do you want to start?
Yeah, tell me. So let's talk about your business journey, and then we talk about your health journey. So how long have you been doing that, like photography, videography, and all that stuff? And how did you become successful? So the guy that shoots cover, now you shoot for Unruly, and you have your own brands and all that stuff. So tell me a little bit more about that.
Yeah, I mean, if we start from the beginning, I mean, I was always a huge just computer nerd, just video games every day my whole life, and then built my first computer in 4th grade, and that like set me on my journey of just electronics. And then once I got old enough at 18, when I graduated, I became one of the first Apple technicians. And then that kind of got me into the realm of like actual business and making money doing something that I enjoy. And then from there, it kind of just snowballed effect. So I went from fixing computers to then working at a camera store. And then that's when photography came into my life. So I've been doing photography for about 11 years now. And just like everyone else, I started from not knowing what a camera did, any of the buttons. I was literally just pushing stuff and seeing what it did. And it helped because working at a camera store, I was like, well, if I'm going to work at a camera store, I might as well become a photographer because it would be a waste of an opportunity. And then that's what just gave me the idea to just run with it and just go all in on something.
And you always liked photography, or like what made you want to work in a store? Like, did you have the vision to become something, or?
No, so at the time it was like a electronics store, Sammy's Camera. So they kind of just had computers. I was selling computers first for like 3 years. Recession hit, and then they're like, if you want to keep your job, you kind of have to sell cameras because that's like the main purpose of the store. So I was like, all right. So I switched to the camera side, and once I started playing with the cameras, I was like, I really got to learn how to use these things because I was making no sales. Like I did not know anything about these things. And then once I started playing with the cameras and learning about them, that's when I started falling in love with it because I just put all my effort and energy into it. So naturally I fell in love with it. And just one of those things, I'm a quick learner, especially with technology. So everything came easy to me. And then I also had a creative side from all like the video games and stuff I used to play. So both of those combined just helped me.
So that what led you to be the photographer you are now? Because now you're super talented. You have the eyes for it and stuff, but like you practice and you self-learn everything.
Oh,
right?
yeah. Always self-taught. I put hours and hours learning stuff. If I don't know how to do it, I'll learn. It's the amount of hours I put in is ridiculous. But yeah, plus having the technological background, I actually knew Photoshop before I knew photography. So like when I came into taking photos, I was able to do really cool stuff right at the beginning before people even saw that stuff. This was even before Instagram was out, before iPhone was out.
You were on Photoshop before everything.
Oh yeah, like I was doing just random stuff, like creating our like little art pieces before anything, like all the app Central came out and the iPhone came out.
That's cool. And Photoshop self-taught too. Like you just put tons of hour that people don't see all the work that's behind.
Yeah, I just learned like what was Photoshop, what can you do on it, like manipulating images or just creating random stuff. Like I was always curious. I always had to learn, especially with computers, like having to fix people's problems without really knowing what their problem is. Like I had to learn anything related to a computer, software-wise, hardware-wise, and be able to answer a question when some random customer comes in and saying like, oh, like my Photoshop won't launch or I can't figure it out. So I was like, well, I know how to do that because I spent hours randomly playing with it on my day off.
Awesome.
So.
And then when you started the journey, did you have the vision that, okay, I'll be a top photographer? Like, did you see yourself there? Like, what was the vision like, and how did you get to this point?
Yeah. So when I was starting in photography, I did everything. So product, people, pets, anything literally related to photography. But then when I saw like I would help a lot of fashion photographers that would come in, and they're always kind of like assholes, but like I found it really interesting what they did when they were like buying like tons of gear, like the coolest gear, and then they're like, oh yeah, I make like $20,000 a shoot, like stuff like that. I was like, oh dang, that's like big money. Like I'm working minimum wage, and then what else was it? There's something else. Oh, and then when I like on my lunch break, I would work downtown Santa Barbara, so I'd just go to random stores and like just kill time because I had an hour to kill. I had nothing else to do. And then I walked into Anthropologie, and they had these really cool big catalogs that like that were just free, and the images were so cool and like colorful, unique pastels, like lots of beauty shots with just they built like I still have the magazine, the first one I picked up, and they built inside a room a whole forest and then shot like a girl for their catalog. And I was like, this is really cool. I want to do this. And so I started collecting all these catalogs, and just over time, I was like, one day I'm going to do this kind of thing. And that was just in my mindset, like buried away. And then eventually it was just kind of like, what is it? Putting it out there.
It's like manifesting.
Manifesting. So little by little, it was manifesting because I had an end goal that I wanted to go.
Exactly. So it's cool that you say it, because now you realize, like saying your story, you kind of realize that, oh, I manifested that because you saw what you wanted to do. You focus your mind on where you were going with that. Now you collected like the catalogs, the picture that you wanted to do, and now that's what you're doing. Like now you're one of the best at doing those fashion shot, like tons of nice heart piece that you put and like the cool stuff on Instagram.
Yeah, what's nice is like now I look back on some of those, it's like, wow, I can actually make a better image than that. And I used to think it was so unachievable. But and then there's still some like ideas that I have saved that like are still my goal from even way back 10 years ago that like I told myself I was gonna do, like in Greece, girl in the red, like in something either red bikini or red dress with a fill flash at sunset. I know exactly the color tones.
In Greece?
I know exactly how it's going to turn out, and I'm just waiting to actually make it happen. But like this was from like 10 years ago. I've had this idea in my head. And so
That's
like
cool.
all this little stuff basically just
so you always have the vision for your project.
Yeah.
And you have other company too that you shoot girls, and there's a lingerie, I think.
So yeah, there's Gooseberry Intimates. I work for them full time. Did a collection for them. Started getting into designing. Went really well. Had the top selling bikini, top selling bra, and that was like really cool and exciting for my first time, and it was really fun. And then it led me to basically opening new branches of creating for other brands, or just in general, like just going on lot path of just figuring out new things to do aside from photography. So always just evolving.
Did you always wanted to have a brand? Like, did you see yourself having those lingerie brand, bikini brand, and all that stuff?
No, I didn't. I always just wanted to create photos, and like that's kind of what my passion is. I just love shoot. I just shoot obnoxious amount of photos. Like all I want to do is take photos, and all I think about is what could be the next coolest, biggest photo. And but having these projects on the side is also fun because little by little, like I'm able to like start to work for myself, kind of thing.
That's cool. And what's your favorite now? Shooting girls, like women's and the best picture, right?
Yes. So like a lot of fashion, lingerie was always like my goal. So I started out big in the swimsuit industry, and I was like, I really want to do lingerie though. So it was just lots of like basically buying other companies' lingerie and like having to pay for that and then shoot the girls on it. So it'd be like high quality, it would look really good, fashionable. Mm-hmm. And then you have better locations instead of just a beach. I mean, I've shot so many beach photos. Like I still can like create something new, but it's like, man, I've done like 6 years of the same beach. The same background. And then when it came to lingerie, you always had a cool new room, location, lighting, like so many possibilities. And then, but aside from that, like kind of my favorite genre that I haven't even gone into it really, but like I love like period pieces. So stuff like Pride and Prejudice, like the old like 1800s, like the dresses and chateaus.
Oh,
and like combining
the old school stuff.
Yeah, like so
with the corset and stuff.
Exactly. So that's like my dream, like campaign, like what I'm gonna make all my like my best images with, like art pieces. Like I have chateaus saved for one day when I start traveling again after COVID. Mixing that in with the lingerie brands, either ones I make or ones I shoot for, and basically just creating new stuff that people haven't seen and combining it. So like, that's cool. Like currently my dream.
It's funny because a lot of guys would wish to have your job, and like you're always surrounded with girls and lingerie and stuff. But as a model, and I shoot too, like because since I'm in front of the camera, I had to learn how to be like taking the picture, so I know the angle, I know the color, I know everything. So Alfie taught me like for 7-8 years how to use a camera, and then I have you. Like I work with a lot of talented photographer, and they teach me. And actually, when you shoot, you're so focused on the pieces that you forget that you're shooting technically a girl. Like, and it's the same for you. I saw you work and we worked together, and you're so professional and focused and all that stuff.
Oh yeah, thanks. Yeah, I'm just like, yeah. When I get so stressed out when I shoot, like, it's just I'm so focused on trying to like get the best image possible. Like, I always just want to be like the best, like stay on top. Like, there's so much competition nowadays. Like, everyone's like, just like anything else, everyone's always doing something, and they get better. They have newer ideas. I've been like, it's like every day that I've done this is like it gets tiring on you, but you kind of just push forward. So yeah, when I'm shooting, I'm just so stressed and like focused on getting you the best image that like
that
I can't
you
like,
completely
I just
disregard.
like, zone out. I'm just like, all right, what can I change on this? What can make it better? Kind of thing.
Exactly.
That's all I think about.
That's cool. And you also shot a lot of fitness stuff, like covers, Ironman stuff. Like,
so that was kind of random. So what was it? I guess I could do like a little small story. There was a girl that I really liked. We were seeing each other for a bit, and then just didn't work out. But like it was one of those things where she said like, "Oh, you're never gonna like lose weight." And like I was pretty chubby my whole life. Like I was eating pizza and like playing video games, like just nerdy good. And so like I was like, "Ouch," like kind of thing. And so I signed up like that week for a fitness competition. I worked out like but barely, and I didn't know anything about this. And I signed up for a random like men's classic physique challenge. Don't know anything about this, and so like had like half my friends train me, had to learn how to pose, pay for a posing teacher, learn how to lose weight for the first time in my life. I signed up 30 days before the show, so I did a 30-day cut. Like definitely starved myself, but like I was able to get show ready in 30 days. 3 spray tans, go on stage, pose to a song, and like little booty shorts, and like it was just so random, but that got me into the fitness industry. So the company that I did it for was Ironman. They threw the show, and then they saw I was a photographer, and so I started shooting their models. And years down the line, because I kept up with that, like just shooting fitness, I started when they took over like the magazine went digital. They started having me shoot all the magazines, and then now I have all these fitness covers of famous athletes, and it was basically I just randomly fell into the fitness industry, and no one ever sees it because I never posted on my Instagram. But like, there's some old ones, but like, I have tons of fitness covers and shot all like the Mr. Olympia athletes. I have one hanging in Gold's Gym still, like all that stuff. So it's just like one of those things.
So it's kind of when people say, "Oh, you might be lucky" or this or that, but it's more like preparation meets opportunity. So you were a good photographer. You took an opportunity, maybe out of ego, out of pride, but it led you to this, and then when time was there and they offered, you were ready to shoot and making the best image, and then fuck it, you got a few covers.
I take all opportunities. If it's work, I was just like, I'll take the money and like I'll shoot it. And like a lot of people are always like, "Oh, you shoot beautiful women all day." I'm like, yeah, but I also shoot lots of men and lots of fitness covers. Like I do it all. Like I do, I was like, I just I post on my Instagram because that's what people like, what to respond to, and then they always. One thing I learned from a fashion photographer was like, if you're gonna do something for like your career, only do that. Like, so I wanted to just do fashion, lingerie, like only show that. And that's the only thing people will think about you when it comes to hiring you. So like, that's why like my Instagram is just like straight at that. Because that's how I get hired.
And it's what you're the best at. Like we work together, we shoot some OF content, and every time we shoot, we also make tons of nice fashion shot. And I get like super dope shot that, Cause I mean, OF gets OF, and then at the end we get creative, and you're super good like to direct and the ideas that you get. But it's cool that I know you're talented of everything, but as you said, it's like when you want to focus on something in life, if you have to do your vision, you can't get lost in the process.
Yeah.
So you want to shoot female, you know it. You want to shoot fashion, this and that. That's what you're doing. So that's cool. Now let's talk about the health journey. So you said you were overweight, fat. I was a gamer myself for years. Obviously, I was skinny instead of being fat. I was eating probably like you, pizza and all that. You know, when you run from the game and you go eat and you come back real quick before the loading finish. That's kind of a lifestyle of a gamer. So, how fat were you, or how overweight? I don't know if people get offended by the word fat. So let's say how overweight were you?
I mean, I like never took my shirt off at the beach. Everything was oversized. In junior high, I was the kid that wore the same sweatshirt every day. I was known as a sweatshirt kid. I had no definition at all.
We want a number.
I mean, I guess I was 200 pounds, but like I was also either shorter or it was just I don't know.
You're a little chubby boy.
Chubby, yeah. Like man boobs, all that stuff. Super self-conscious.
And you're shooting after you were still overweight and you were shooting all those hot people.
Oh yeah, I mean, that always came second to me. Like fitness, going to the gym, I was always tired. Like I didn't really, one of those things where you have to like really dedicate some time to go to and focus on it. But when I did do the competition, I didn't take a single photo. So that took up my whole life. It was literally work, gym, eat, sleep, like that. Not a single photo. Didn't go out.
Amazing.
No, nothing. That was all I did for 30
dedicated.
days. Yeah, it was really cool to experience.
And so I want to promote health. That's what I do. That's as a life coach and fitness coach. I'm telling people all the time that it's not only that being overweight is like you not looking good and it's not good for your self-esteem and your ego. 'Cause obviously, you just said it. You are wearing sweater, not taking off your shirt at the beach and all those stuff. So, of course, it impacts your mental. But I don't tell people to get shredded or to get in shape just for the beauty of it. It's more for the health benefits. So, like now you're in shape, you're training, you're dedicating your life. So what change do you see? Like if people hear you today and they're like, oh shit, I'm overweight, it's time to change. Like what could you tell them that really made an impact in your life? Like what's the difference?
Definitely in the energy. You have a lot more energy. I feel less sluggish. Definitely you release a lot of stress. Like if you have any stress in your life, every time I go to the gym, I feel instantly better afterwards. Like I feel relaxed and it like clears your mind and like it's just a great feeling, especially after a hard lift session and then cardio on top of that, and you're just like all I want to do is sleep, so there's nothing else to think about. And then my skin would clear up. What else? That and just
The self-esteem.
yeah, the self-esteem was huge.
So now
Yeah.
you go shirtless at the beach, I guess.
No, I'm still super insecure, and like that's why I'm training with you now. Like,
Yeah, I mean, I see it. You're in amazing shape right now, and you're always at the gym. Like, oh, I'm not big enough, and this and that. And it's like, I don't know. It's when you start the fitness journey, it used to be like that, but you're in great shape. And as you said, we're training together now. I'm training you. So, what do you see as a major difference between having a coach and having no coach?
oh, when you have a coach, you're forced to show up, work out. There's no like, oh, I think I'm gonna go tomorrow kind of thing. And then on top of that, I'd say my workouts are double
Intensity.
like intensity, efficient. I would be on my phone. I would cut workouts out because I'd be like, oh, I think I'm done. And then when you're with a trainer, even in the past, it was just you'll finish your rep and then they'll say like 5 more sets, and you're like, like, and then it hurts. It doesn't even feel like I'm doing the workout because you're assisting me. So it's just like, but all that, like you'll see a lot more results quicker.
Yeah, and also like for the people that can't have me as a coach because either it's more expensive in person and I'm not present because they don't live in LA. Like having a structure to your workout make you achieve result a lot faster. So if they would go on the app and follow the structure, like you can say for sure because you tested it that having a structure instead of just going to yourself, even if you're self-learning, you're like me learning everything online, having someone that has knowledge teaching you is 10 times better.
Yeah, 100%. It's just because you go straight to the point.
Yeah.
Like if I gave someone a photography lesson, I could get them an amazing image in a couple hours instead of them having to spend years of me figuring out and discovering it on my own.
Yeah, exactly. So that's cool. I mean, I always tell people that they should have a coach, or even if it's on my app and this and that, because it's not that it's not about it's about the investment in yourself. Like you gotta learn from the best and people that know what they're doing, so you're saving time. And now we've been training for a little while, and your shape has tremendously changed, and you're, I think, in the best shape of your life right now. And it's just the beginning.
Yeah, I'm definitely in the biggest and strongest for sure. So I'm excited for when I really cut up.
That's
a
cool.
game changer.
Awesome, man. But well, I'm happy that you worked on this. Now the part that you're a little weaker is the nutrition.
Oh my God, so bad.
We're working on it, but when you eat bad food, you see it on your body, right?
Oh, of course. I know what I'm getting into.
Yeah, and you feel less energy and all that stuff. Like you feel it.
Oh yeah, sluggish, bloated. Sometimes you get pimples. Like
Yeah.
all
At
that
least
stuff.
you don't drink. No, you
Yeah,
barely. You
I
don't,
just social drink. Like I never got really into it. I like coffee.
Awesome. So if you can tell me like a failure in your life that you thought was a failure at first and then turns out to be a successful opportunity or something like that. Like you say, fuck this. Because often where I want to go with this is often life gonna throw something at us to make us ready for the next level. And at first, it can be either breakup or anything like that, that you're like, it was a disaster. I was so sad, but then it led me to this.
I mean, pretty much the simple one, yeah, for the fitness was just, of course, a breakup. That pushes you to the next level. You can see a lot on TikTok nowadays. Every gym one is talking about a breakup, and that's the trend right now on TikTok for fitness. And then when it came to cameras, that was also a blessing in disguise. It was when the recession hit and I lost the computer fixing job. That's what comes easiest to me in life, like fixing computers. And that was supposed to be like my life's career. Like I loved it. Like I said, I could watch a loading screen for 4 hours and not move. Like, I don't know. That was my thing. And then once I lost that job, I was like, what am I going to do now? Like, that's how I made my money. And then having to start from ground zero with photography, not knowing a single thing about cameras, that ended up being like the best thing in my life, because now it became a world of Instagram, not knowing that like that's the future, was social media and images and
that's
photos.
Cool. And what I like about you is that you just trusted the process, and instead of complaining, you just were like, okay, I'll sell the camera and I'll learn it. So instead of fighting when life gave you an opportunity, you were like, I'll take it and I'll make the best out of it.
Oh yeah.
And you just started to learn and to
I
be
take
able
all
to be
opportunities.
the best.
I try out everything, and I figure everything out, and I try everything.
That's cool. Do you have a morning routine or work habits that make you successful?
I would say the ability to just self-learn. I can easily figure something out by watching hours, researching it online, testing
You do it every day?
Just about, yeah. I'm constantly trying to think of something new that no one's done, and I've recently discovered some new stuff that's gonna be cool for my photos.
Yeah.
And like I put the money into it. I invest in myself all the time. I've gotten loans just to buy like stuff to test it out if it wasn't gonna work, and it always works out. But I'm like someone that will.
You trust yourself.
I trust
you put
myself.
the money behind.
Yeah, I know.
And you learn every day.
If anyone can figure it out, I know it's me.
Yeah, and that's cool because a lot of people talk about school and this and that. I'm a dropout out of school. I was a top student, like sleeping, getting 95%. Like it's just school wasn't for me. But I can say that I've studied more and learned more than anybody that has a doctorate. Like the highest school.
I can say
Like,
I've studied more than anyone I ever
every
met.
day I put 1 hour or two every day for the last, like, since I dropped out at 17, and sometimes I put 5, 6, 7 hours a day, like for, I don't know, about 13 years now. So I think you're the same as me. It's like every day I'm learning something, reading books, watching documentaries, seminar, learning everything, piano, whatever I want to learn, neurology, like neuroscience, whatever I want to learn, I fucking put time in it.
Yep. If you look at my YouTube history, it's just like half of it's just gameplays of Zelda, and the other half is just information on cameras.
That's cool. And that's what makes you good, because people think that we're good because oh, we just got lucky. I was born with that physique or whatever, but I put so much effort. Like, yeah, they're like, oh, you're just talented with camera. No, it's like Alfie, same as you. He put so many hours, and back then when we started, there was not that many video about how to.
Oh, not at all.
To do, we kind of created the trend now with all the influencer stuff. Like I've been an influencer for 8-9 years, but when I was doing it at first, the fitness stuff, there was not that many people doing that shit.
Not at all, yeah. Always staying ahead of the trends has been like, we see it before everyone else. Yeah. And I could single-handedly, like with, even with Instagram, I told so many companies and so many people that video was going to be the next biggest thing on Instagram. And this was about 2.5, maybe 3 years ago. No one cared. No one listened to me. And I started doing iPhone videos. And then I made a bunch of viral iPhone videos for like hotels, traveled around the world. And it was just completely separate from everything I was doing photography related. It was just a total side thing. And now basically there's a nickname. They're called Clinty videos. And like so many brands are doing it now, and they're 3 years too late. And like all the other photographers, they didn't want to do it, and now they're all doing it. And it's just like, I said this 3 years ago.
When something releases, you have to be on it. Like I was against TikTok last year, like a year and a half ago. I was like, I don't want to do this platform, this and that, but I knew it was going to be the trend. So I just pushed myself. I did it for 2 months, like super, super hard, got over 2-3 million followers. Then I stopped. I needed a break. The app was very draining on my energy. Now I'm starting again. But when you see a trend, don't fight it. Or if you see a trend is going, try it. You're not losing anything to try it. And it's funny that you talk about iPhone, because we talked about it at the gym the other day, and we talked about a lot of photography stuff and modeling. And people often ask, what's the best camera? What's this? What's that? Guys,
iPhone.
This is it.
90% of my work is my iPhone.
Me too. Like, what do you take a picture with? Portrait, bro. The portrait is the fucking best, bro, if you do Instagram. And then we have a tip for you, like the new video trend that Clint and I are doing is the little zoomed effect on
2x
TikTok.
telephoto.
Yeah, so we kind of shoot a video, guys, and then you zoom a little to make yourself like a portrait, but in a video, and it look so phenomenal and so easy. Like,
compression makes everyone look 1,000 times
so
more
nice.
flattering.
Yeah, and a 4K on the iPhone. Like, guys, you don't need anything else. Don't. If you're trying to find excuses and you say that you need all the gear that Clint has, of course, if you can afford it and you're a photographer, you want this, because he has to click a lot more than just iPhone, so the camera is more productive in a shoot. But just to take Instagram pic and even normal pic and stuff, the iPhone does the work, and it's
100%.
like so good.
Yeah.
Let's check. Do you meditate? Do you do spirituality stuff, or because you manifest stuff, obviously? So what's kind of your deal with that?
That's, I would say, just my imagination. I'm just always constantly thinking of something cool, something new to do for
Do you plan it?
photos. No, I think about it, and that's about it. Like, I'll forget a lot of ideas, so I write them down. But like, I'll see a lot of stuff, and I'll be like, oh, I want to do that later, and I'll have to save it. I guess that's kind of like manifesting.
Yeah, you save it on your phone.
Yeah, anyway, or I try to remember it.
Yeah, you should write it down and stuff. It made a difference for me to plan it, do the vision board and stuff, because I was like you. As a gamer, I think I had the same mentality as you. I was just super photogenic memory, so I was like, I'll remember this. That's how I manifest stuff.
It's always just going.
But now I'm starting to write, and I do the vision board and all. I think girls are better at this than guys we are, like with all this structuring and stuff.
Oh, 100%.
But now I'm trying to do it because I mean, it's working. So
Yeah, like I have to live by a calendar now. I never was gonna need it, and like if I don't have something on my calendar, I won't remember it at all.
I know. I used to start the day when I had like my ex, like 5 years ago. I'm so bad with planning and all that stuff. It was my weakness. Now I'm putting stuff in calendar. I just started recently, like 5 years later, but I used to start the day with like telling my ex, yo, remember me that today I have this, and text me at that time for this appointment. And she was doing it because girls are so good. She was putting on her phone and texting me because I was so bad at this. And like now I'm forcing myself. I just Siri it now. I'm like, yo, Siri, I have an appointment, this. And yeah, I mean, it helps to do it, structure your life a little. Do you read books?
No,
Not at all.
I mean, I read a lot of articles or anything online. I was just born on that era, so I was Spark Notes in school. I was Cliff Notes. Never read the book. Still got the A, and then and then now it's like YouTube. So
you do a lot of YouTube. That's your thing.
yeah, I would say it's equivalent.
Cool. If you have an advice to your younger self or people listening, what would you say?
Quit my job earlier and drop out of school earlier. I was wasting so much time. I wanted to do it, but I was too scared to do it because I didn't want, like, my parents would get mad if I dropped out of school, and then I was too scared to like just lose my paycheck working 9 to 5. And
You were scared a little at the beginning.
Yeah, I knew I was gonna do it, but I just never chose did it. And then once I got older, I just did it, and it was like
It must have been hard at the beginning. Like me, I remember I went through a bankruptcy and I tried a lot of stuff. I made a lot of money, lost a lot of money.
Oh, yeah.
And you just always trust the process because you know you're gonna make it. That was the same for you.
Yep, I lived off of credit cards. I would float money. I learned how to float money by paying for rent using PayPal, which then was able to use my credit card in order to pay my rent. So then I would pay off my credit card later on down the year. Like, I had to learn all these new things just to like pay rent and like
Creative, bro.
Yeah, like and then I would sell stuff. Like, I would sell my video game systems just to like have like rent again, like all that stuff. Like,
I remember I sold a few World of Warcraft account back then. Once I almost sold it. It was so funny for like 700,000 Bitcoin. And I was like, what the fuck is Bitcoin? Because, you know, the gamer were always ahead of trend.
Yeah.
And my friend was like, Yeah, bro, Bitcoin, it was $600 that I was selling the thing, but it was like 700,000 Bitcoin. That's how little worth of Bitcoin. I was like, what I can buy with it? They were like, oh, bro, you can buy Chinese stuff. There was only accepted
Black market stuff.
on a Chinese
Yeah, on the
website.
dark
I was
web.
like, fuck that, I'm broke. I want money.
Yeah.
I would have probably sold it. Like people say, oh, you would be millionaire. No, because
Yeah, but
actually,
back
probably
then you
when it
still
went to
would've sold
$1,
it. Yeah,
I
you
would have
would've
sold
sold it, yeah.
everything. So you can't think like that. But I would have made more money than 600. But it was
Yeah.
funny. It's like I used to game and then I was selling to do some other stuff and just making it. So I love it. Like quit school. No, I'm fucking with you
Yeah.
guys. But if you have a passion and it's not related to school, so if you want to be a doctor, stay in school. If you want to be a lawyer, stay in school. But if you want to be doing something that is not at school, don't be afraid to follow your path. And even if your parents or family or anybody telling you shit, and they're gonna want you to fail. People, when they tell you that you shouldn't do it, they want you to fail. And they're gonna be like, I told you, but don't let your ego be in it. I remember my parents, like my mom was an entrepreneur, but I was working at a bank and she was like, you shouldn't quit. You could be the CEO of the bank. I'm like, Mom, I don't give a fuck. I don't want to be CEO of the bank. Like, you think I'm gonna like,
Oh, terrible.
think I want to lick ass to the top. Like, I'm not born for that.
Yeah.
Like, nobody tell me what to do and when to do it. I was like, I'm quitting. I'll be an influencer. And I had this vision. And people were like, oh, yeah, because back in the day, remember 8 years ago, I was the only one shirtless in the gym with camera and tripod and just everybody's training normally and I'm flexing and being so cool.
Yeah.
And people are like, what? Nowadays, bro, normal. But 8 years ago, it was
Yeah,
just
it's literally
normal
like,
to do
who's
that
this
shit.
dude? Like-
Yeah, and I was like, I'll make it. And people were laughing on me. Oh, yeah, who do you think he is? Blah, blah. And now that I made it, people are like, oh, it's so fucking cool, bro. You're so lucky to be hot and in shape. You wouldn't never
my God,
make it.
yeah.
But, bro, I've been doing
That's
it
all
for
people
8
say,
years.
yeah, exactly.
So it's like we put the work and we took the risk.
Mm-hmm.
And one of my friends took the risk. Like he invested 60,000, everything he had into Cardano, made 3.2 million. And people are like, you're lucky. Would you have put 60,000 on something you don't know? No, we fucking take risk.
Oh,
and
yeah.
then it pays. And sometimes I lost 10 Bitcoin on a scam like 5 years ago. When Bitcoin was $1,000, I was telling everybody to buy Bitcoin, that it was going to go up. People were laughing, but we're ahead of trend and I don't care. I take risk. I just did bankruptcy and I put all my money on Bitcoin, lost all of it. Then I took debt to pay a trading class and lost money because I wanted to make money so bad that I was not efficient.
Yeah.
And then I just made myself back.
Correct. Yeah, you can always recover.
Yeah. Let me check. What was your best investment in the last year? Could be not only material, could be you bought a class, you went to a meditation retreat, like whatever. Like the best thing for you.
Yeah. I would always say just traveling. I don't know if
like
it was
that.
last year. I can't really keep the time with COVID, but like whenever it was 2 years ago or a year and a half ago, like whenever I travel, that's always the best investment. So like I'll
fucking
pay for
love
my
you
own
say
hotel,
that.
pay for my own flight, everything, and like that's always been the best investment.
Yeah, I find it too. Like it changed my life.
Yeah,
when I was
100%.
unhappy and sad, I had everything and like everything. I mean, I had money, luxury car, luxury apartment, everything that you're supposed to have. I was making over 100,000 a year, and I was like, I'm not happy. Was the next thing, and then I started traveling. Like, sold everything and went for traveling, and it changed my life.
Oh yeah, it's awesome. The people you meet, the places you see, and like I just walk around in shorts and sandals and like in Bali, and you're just
And
like,
you're not stressed.
Yeah,
You're like
eating
vibing.
my pizza, drinking my coffee, and then I'm like, well, back home I would be driving.
Eat your
like,
what? Your
my-
pizza?
Eating my
We're gonna
pizza.
change
yeah.
that. Oh, yeah.
But like, yeah,
And
and then
next time I slap the fuck out of you.
yeah, I'll just have my iPhone out there and just like taking awesome photos, meeting new people and friends, and then I come back home and it's just like material things, cars,
Yeah.
like 5 cars. Like,
Sometimes you yeah, sometimes you get lost. That's what I
Yeah.
liked about Bali. I had the scooter and you're so happy you put $1 of gas. Scooter is $150 a month and you're bawling
Mm-hmm.
and you're driving like a maniac in Bali. It's so funny. But yeah, traveling is definitely the best
Yep.
investment.
100%.
And you reconnect with yourself and you just forget about everything because your subconscious is not attached to. So when we're in Los Angeles or home or wherever you live, you're attached. Your subconscious detect everything. Your iPhone, your Instagram, your house, your everything reminds you of something. It
Oh, yeah.
triggers emotion. And when you're in vacation, you can just disconnect and be you and reconnect with yourself.
yeah, it's a lot quieter.
Yeah, definitely traveling is the best thing. And people sometimes they're scared. I had a friend, she was like, she's making probably 70,000 a year. She has a normal job, and then she wanted to start a business. But then she was like, I would love to travel, but I'm gonna start the business, so I can't. I'm like, why don't you sell everything, quit your job, go traveling, and then when you come back, the worst things is gonna happen to you is that you'll go back to this normal job, because you don't have anything in life. Like not most of people, they don't really have anything. Like, and you don't need to travel for expensive to experience all that stuff. Like you can backpack. There's a lot of things, but people are scared. They're like, yeah, but what do I do when I come back? Worst case scenario, you start from the scratch and you fucking go back to a job like you had, and you do for a year, and then you start something or whatever.
Yeah,
that's cool. Let me check what other question I have for you. So, what's your tricks when you feel unfocused or overwhelmed? Like, since you work a lot, you read a lot, what do you do to keep the focus? Except coffee, because I know you drink a lot of coffee, so I want something else.
Lots of coffee, lots of gym. I've been lucky enough to always just enjoy what I do, so everything like on the computer, I just stay on top of it. I'm always focused.
You don't need motivation because you love what you do, so that's the motivation.
Yeah. I love what I do. It's all I want to do. So I'm lucky enough to have that as well. But I've always been able to just stay on top of things. I know like there's an end goal, like one of those things. It's like I'm getting older. Like I just got to stay on it. Like there's no point in just stopping. So
you're motivated, you have your goal, and you love what you do, so it makes it easy.
And I get inspired a lot too. So that helps. So like recently, I'd spent like $2,000, maybe $3,000 on stuff that's discontinued, that on just a single idea that I'm going to do as my next like thing that no one really ever is probably going to do for photos and cameras and make a book. And I recently just randomly got inspired by that, and I put the money to just try it out. Completely failed. All the film is expired from 2012. Completely not work at all, and I'll waste all that money. But I have a feeling it will work.
I'm sure it will. You'll make it work. And on that note, I'm happy that now you're on the LT path, you're successful, and it's just the beginning. I see you getting in the best shape of your life, and keep working your business. Do you have anything to add, like anything you want to tell people? Also, have to tell us where they can find. I know you said it at the beginning, like social media handle stuff. And last word.
I mean, just put the time and effort. I talk to so many people, they always ask for advice, and they never take it. They never put the time to just post a single photo a day. Like you have an iPhone, you're on your phone 7 hours a day. Like you can literally.
They're scared of judgment. I think a lot of people are scared of what other people think, which is like social media is kind of this super negative TikTok stuff, and like people
even if it's not like social media. Like I've given so much advice on anything related to just work, business ethic, or just becoming successful in something, and they never start.
Yeah, it's like I heard that I think 75% or 80% of people that buy classes, online stuff, they never open it. They buy it to feel good that I bought this.
Yeah, and they talk about it with their friends.
I bought this coach, or I bought session, but they just, it's so cool, but they never actually do it.
Yep.
So you just say, put the fucking work.
Yeah, just put the work into it. If you want to do it,
walk
do it.
Talk. Yeah, that's the expression. Amazing. Tell us your social media. Where can we find you?
My main one, Instagram's my main platform. It's just at Clint. And then I have side accounts, just Clinty's Film is just for film. Clinty is my video account. And then I got another basic brand, which is coming out. It's my new sweatsuit line, even though it's 110 degrees. But everyone's like, why are you launching sweats? And it's the hottest thing ever. I was like, well, one day you're going to want them. So exactly, that's why I'm doing it. So
that's cool,
you guys will see in the winter. And I'll be somewhere traveling the world while you're not.
Exactly, amazing. Thanks for coming, bro. I'm happy to see your journey and your progress. It's super inspiring. So thanks, guys. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in another episode.
Where do I look? Bye.